Hello friends, in last part we made this Todo app where we can change the status of a to-do, we can delete a to-do, and we made this add button. So now let's add the functionality to this add button. So whenever this add button is clicked, a dialog box will open up and there we're going to be adding a to-do that will be added in this list. So let's get started. This is our to-do home. Here inside this to-do, I'm going to be making a folder. So inside this home, we're going to be importing this dialog. So we can see this dialog here. Now let's add few styles to this dialog. So this will be our dialog box. Here we have this dialog container. Inside this a dialog with a button, input, and a button. So let's see how it looks. Let's add few styles. Let's run and see. So yeah, we can see our dialog box, but it doesn't work. Let's add click event to that add to do button to show this dialog. So inside this to do box, we will make a state here. So this will be show add to do and set show add to do. So this will decide whether we have to show this dialog box or not. So this dialog box, we will pass this show dialog equal to show this add to do. And then we are making a function here called, so this function will just set this show add to do as opposite to what it was. So when it was true, it will make it false and vice versa. So for close handler, let's pass this handle. And to this add button, we will again pass this. So whenever this button is clicked on, it will change the status of show add to do, and whenever the close button inside this dialog box will be clicked on, it will again change the status of this show activity. So we have this now inside this dialog box. Let's handle that. So we will have this close handler and show dialog coming from this home. Here we're going to be using a ref, and this will be passed to this dialog container. So here we will decide whether we have to show this or not. Let's use effect in this dialog box. Inside this, I will be writing dialog container class list equal to if this is there, then we will have two cases. If show dialog is true, then we will add a style inside this dialog container, which will show the dialog box. or else it will set display as none. So here we will have this dialog container class dot add and styles. We're going to be adding show dialog container and a styled add opacity. In a while we're going to be writing this function, or else let's write this classes inside our dialog dot css. So we have this dialog container and add opacity. It's using this, and now we will write here display none. Here we're going to be setting opacity as 0 because we can see like in add opacity the opacity is already set to 1. So now we can see we have this add dialog, this close handler is, let's add close handler function here. So in this close button we will write on. So now we can see it's working fine. So we can see transition was not happening. So inside this, let's add a set timeout function, and it will be called in 200 ms because we can see inside dialog the transition is for 200 milliseconds. So here we will set this timeout to 200 milliseconds. Now let's run and test it. You can see the transition is happening well. So now let's write this add to do. So inside this dialog, we will again create a state which will have to do value and set to do value. In this input, we will add on change event and a value which is equal to this to do value. So let's write this to do handler here. So this to do handler will receive an event and it will set the to do value to event.target.value. So whatever you write in this input, we just update this to do value. So now let's add functionality to this add button. So inside this to do home, in this dialog box, we're going to be sending one prop called add to do, and it will call an add to do handler. So let's write this function. So this to do add to do handler will receive a to do value, and it will add that to do value to the to do value list, and it will just close the dialog box by calling this function. So let's write this add to do inside this dialog box. So we have this add to do inside this dialog box. Let's write inside this add button. So inside this we will write one on click event and it will call an add to do handler. Let's write this add to do handler here. So this add to do handler will just call this function add to do, and here it will just send the value, and it will just send this to do value, and it will update this to do value here to empty. Let's see. So here we can see our to-do list. Let's try to add a to-do. You can see this is working fine. We can delete the to-do. We can again add a new to-do here. So our to-do is working fine. We have this dialog box here. So that's it in this video. Thank you guys.